Hey everyone, KoBaC here with another Halo 5 action figure review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Series 2 Spartan Buck. Now this is pretty cool packaging. You can see here on the back, got the 4 other figures that are in Series 2, which is kind of disappointing because generally McFarlane used to do like a lot more in his series, but I mean, these are pretty cool figures to be there, like the Spartan Helljumper. That's really nice. And then Buck is the only one that's actually like a named Spartan from the series. And there's only one girl, and it's the Hermes, or the Herms. Alright, now that we got Spartan Buck out of his packaging, we can start to admire his detail work. Because I gotta say, first off, the detail work is awesome. It's very, very nice. He feels bulky, he feels strong, and it's a really nicely done sculpt. Very nicely done. Paint job also up there with McFarlane's other work. It's great. It's very, very nice. This is a really, really cool figure. The weapons that he comes with is the Hydra Launcher and then the pistol. He's got 3 peg holes, one on the back, one on each leg. Halo 5 figures do not have peg holes or grenades for peg holes or anything like that anymore. Kind of a bummer from like Halo 4 and down to Halo 3. Anyway, Hydra Launcher, pretty nice, pretty nicely sculpted, pretty nice different set of colors in there. It's not just kind of like a copper or a black or a gray. They actually took the time to paint it in different places and get it closer to being like how it is in the game. Not the best paint job, because I know the Hydra is kind of, there's a lot going on with that gun. But I mean, I don't know, maybe a little bit more detail work would have been nicer. Not the end of the world. It's still nice, but, you know, kind of being picky, I guess. That's my job. Anyway, so let's get into articulation. And first off, I wanted to see, you know, when I open up the figure, I try to see what the range of motion is, right? For him to be able to hold his gun. Because if you can't hold your gun, like, what good are you as a figure? So I looked on the back of the packaging because I was really, really struggling to get him to hold the Hydra Launcher, and I noticed something. The red Spartan Athlon has a Hydra Launcher, and he's holding his. And I reviewed the other Spartan Athlon, and he's got a really good range of motion. So I believe that he could hold it. And then I looked over here at Spartan Buck, and he's not holding it. Like, he's holding the gun, but he's not posing with it other than just resting. And I think that's because his range of motion is just about as bad as Spartan Locke's. If not, maybe a little bit worse, because that is as far as I'm getting that gun. I can push this thing, and I'm putting a lot of pressure on his wrist. His wrist is already bent backwards. And then his other arm is not even getting, hey, he's touching it now. If you can see, he's touching it. And that's it. So he's not going to be holding this gun. So what I thought was maybe take the Hydra off, and let's do a battle rifle here. Take a look and see. So I'll hold the battle rifle just fine in his hand. Be able to get it maybe a little bit closer. And no, not without way too much pressure, and where I'm going to end up breaking his arm or my gun. I don't really care for that. He's so restrictive here in the armpit area, whether it's the bicep or the tricep or right up in here with the armor. Something needs to go, and well, that's nice. Something needs to go in order to be able to get anything out of that. Actually, I guess what we could do is, for the sake of it, could give him the pistol and get him in some kind of cool pose with that, because that's about the extent of anything that we're going to get him with a gun. So I mean, that's pretty cool, but you know. So anyway, articulation, his head, beautiful range of motion. Can easily do 360, can easily tell he's looking sideways or looking down or anything. This is the best head and neck articulation so far out of any of the Halo 5 figures that I'm aware of. Arms can go up. That's as far down as it's going to go. And actually, since I have him here, I can compare him to Spartan Locke And I would say that Buck definitely has a worse range of even just bringing his arms down. I mean, Lock is not great, but I mean, Buck is even out more than Lock's, so that's kind of crappy. Waist articulation, a little bit, not much. Then the hips, that's his legs all the way extended. They can actually touch each other. And if you notice, his pelvis area is actually designed different than... You've got another male Spartan here, Spartan Lock. You can tell his are more sideways. They don't really have the sides of where the hip and the pelvis would technically anatomically correct be. And then with the Spartan Athlon here, he has a very good range of motion in his legs, and he has even less problems than Buck does. But I mean, Buck still has a little bit, because you can see that little bit of a lip there sticking out on the side when like the Athlon doesn't have it, so he's not as restricted. So it's still nice. It's okay, but it's definitely better touching. But I mean, when you get him out, it's all right. Being able to kick forward, squat, that's it. Kick backwards, squat, that's it. His knee, that's it. Going back, going forward, a little bit more than just at normal. Ankles can rotate forward, backward, can rotate 360, and then he still has the toe articulation. So that's pretty much all the articulation. Paint job is great. And logos on him, you can see it says Buck right here in the center. He's got decals on both the shoulders, only on the front though, not on the back. And little pouches on the side for detail work. The mask is very nice. And I mean, it's still a really great figure that just doesn't want to stand. Stand! There we go. All right, guys, so to wrap this up, pros and cons. Pros, awesome sculpt. This is probably one of my favorites that I own of all the Halo 5 figures, if not probably the best. He just looks really cool. I wish, though, that he had a better set of articulation, a bit of better posability, better. That's okay. Anyway, Hydra Launcher is cool. It doesn't really sit the best on his back, as you can see here. Not the greatest. It really has to sit straight up and down. Overall, still pretty cool. Paint job, very nice. So for collectors, I'd say pick him up. He doesn't have a great set of articulation for you to pose him in, but he's still really neat, and he's definitely going to be one of the really cool parts of my collection right now. Other than that, for animators, I'd pass. If you really have to make a decision between him and a couple other Spartans, don't get this one for animators. It would be really cool, really cool if his knife, which I didn't mention earlier, was actually removable. That would have been icing on the cake. That would have gotten a lot more bonus points for something really cool that the previous Buck, which when he was still an ODST and not a Spartan, back for the Halo 3 ODST game, he had a knife, wasn't removable either. So overall, I'd give him bonus points for being really cool, but the articulation and not being able to actually hold his own gun really drags his score down for me. So I'd really say that he's like a 2 out of 5, just because of how useful he is and other things. I mean, he's really cool standing straight up like this, but that's kind of it. So anyway, guys, what do you guys think? Do you guys love him? Do you hate him? Do you wish they would have done better? I don't know. I mean, for me, I wish that sometimes McFarlane would be willing to compromise the exact details of how it is in-game, so that when they got it to us as a figure, we could do more with it. That's just my thing. So anyway, guys, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. Thank you very much for watching, commenting, subscribing. Your guys' support for this channel, whether you guys just watch or you support me through Patreon, is super awesome and super helpful. So anyway, guys, have a great day, and see you guys again later.